What's up, guys? Bumpy road. I'm actually, I do a lot of stuff for Bay Area Riders Group. I pick up people's motorcycles, transport them, do all sorts of stuff. I met a guy, Gabriel, the other day when I picked up his bike from a local shop down here in Tampa Elite. Sorry if it's a little shaky. Tampa Elite. Driving down a very bumpy road right now. Picked up his bike from over there. They wanted to overcharge him for a lot of stuff, and I feel bad because I know some of the guys from Tampa Elite, but still, they were... having sat in on the conversation that took place between the customer and them, I probably will never do business with Tampa Elite again after what I witnessed. So shame on you, Tampa Elite. Kind of depressing. That being said, I picked up a client from it, and you know, is what it is. So I got two of his scooters in the back of my truck right now. They've been sitting for a long time, so we're gonna go ahead and go through these scooters together and figure out what they need. And I mean, they've been sitting for a long time. These scooters have very low mileage, but they've been just sitting out in the elements. And so anyways, he gave me both sets of keys, and we're gonna get them running so that he can actually get them. I'll fix them, and then he can sell them, and then he can take the money and fix his other motorcycle. If he chooses to go through me for that work, that's on him. If he takes it somewhere else, that's also on him. The job seems easy enough. I can do it for his other bike. So anyways, he knows that I run my YouTube channel. He'll probably see this video, but which is good. It's good. God, I hate this road. It is so bumpy, but it's the only direct shot back to where I need to get to. Welcome back to the shop. Looks like I'll be doing this one here in the rain, which kind of sucks. I need to unload these before they get too rained on. Not that it matters, but we'll see. Okay, keys are in. I have two scooters in front of me. Both of them have crap batteries. So the first thing we're gonna do, this one doesn't even have a battery. That one does have a battery, but garbage. And it looks like somebody's been tampering with that one a little bit. So, as a scooter shop, you must be prepared for all situations. We're gonna start off with two new batteries. Let's go ahead and just get rid of this one because I guarantee this is crap. I'll almost make you a bet. I'll put it on the charger, see if it takes a charge. It doesn't have a manufacturing date. So we'll go ahead and slap it on the charger, see what it does. See what we got. Let's see if this battery takes a charge. Oh, it's actually not too shabby. But it's the wrong battery. So we're gonna replace it anyways, because this is not the correct battery. So almost, very close, but not quite. You won't be able to close the door with that battery. It sits too high. So give you guys an idea, specifications of battery. See the height difference on these two? So yeah, wrong battery, dude. This is meant for a different machine here, unfortunately. It's very close though. I will give you that, it's very close. But, not quite. Close, but not quite. So, let's go ahead and grab some tools here and do this together. So, let's pop a new battery in this guy first. We'll get started here. Open this up. Ah, where'd you go? Damn it. Stupid thing. There it is. Way over there. As soon as I ripped the tape, it ripped it wide open. Alright. Set those aside because we're going to immediately need those. Okay. Let's just take this, slide it down in there like so, until the nut lines up like that. Alright. These are pretty grum. Well, I guess they're not too bad. But it's alright, we're gonna start. Oh, damn it. Get out of there, bro. Start with this one first. Get that on there. That on there. Pull the black one out of the way so it's not even impeding on whatever else we got going on here. There we go. Now we got room for our wires to slide down into like that. That's where that's supposed to go. And now let's see if we can get this on there properly. Grr. There's one. Beautiful. Now we'll straighten this one out again here. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other scooter. Drop that on there. Push it down and in like it's supposed to. Start screwing. There we go. That one's a little loose. Keep going. Doesn't want to go tight on there, huh? There it is. Got it that time. Got it that time. All right. See what she does here. There we go. All right. We got power. What a lovely day. Okay, so we know this one has power. Have not, sorry. No, Mackenzie's dog has got out again. Okay, so bam bam, both of them have brand new batteries now. When I'm done, I'll go ahead and write the date on them. And as you can see, this one already has power. So next up, we're gonna pop these seats and have a look at what's going on underneath them. So we know we got power now. Now we're gonna check for spark, and the way we're gonna do that, this is the way that I do things easily. So you guys have an entire record of how to take a scooter that's been sitting for a while and revamp it. One of these is low on air. We'll check the tires. We'll do all that stuff, start to finish. So next up, we know we got power on both scooters. They're both powering up. So we're gonna take these seats. We're gonna pull the buckets on them. We're gonna get all the way down to the engine. And we're gonna have a look at things. Let's go. So my dude already had the seat pulled on that one and most of the bolts out. I don't know why, it looks like he was already looking at it, but this one does not. So we're gonna go ahead and strip this puppy because either way, I have to get down to change the carbs on both of these. So we're changing, we're just gonna do an entire swap on the carbs here. So let me pull out a 10. I'm gonna go deep socket with an extension, electric ratchet. These are about 40, 50 bucks on eBay, totally worth it. There we go. And just like the other one, I'm gonna set it right behind the scooter so I know which parts go to which scooter. And there we go. All right, so next we're gonna pull the spark plug on each one of these. I have a spark plug that I use for testing to make sure we're getting spark. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull the spark plug wire on each one of these. If I can get it, there we go. And then we're gonna plug in my temporary spark plug. That way we don't have to go through the whole system, so I always leave a test plug out. So we'll test this one first to see if this one's getting spark. If it's getting spark, then we just simplified our entire life, because after that, it just needs a carburetor and then an inspection on the fuel. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that on some metal right there so you can see. I doubt you guys will be able to see the spark, but I'll tell you whether it's sparking or not. Let me just set that right there, pull the key, pop this in there. Bend this down just a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. So just gonna look for spark, and we have tons of spark. Wow, very strong spark. That is a solid spark coming off of there. So this one we're just gonna be looking at fuel and air issues with next. So let's make sure all this stays together. We're gonna be replacing that carburetor. So let's go test the spark on this puppy here and make sure that key's off.
come on out of there. Same thing on this side. Test plug in there. Put this against something metal that's grounded to the body like that. Turn the key. That one also has spark. Turn the key off. So, we're already looking pretty darn good here. All right, so we know we got spark. We got power. Next up, air and fuel. So, we're gonna be pulling these carbs, putting brand new carbs on them. I'm still waiting for one in the mail, which should be coming today, but the other one is in here, so we're gonna go ahead and open this other carb up. We can do one now, and then when the other one gets here today, I'll go ahead and slap the carb on the other one. I wanna check the fuel on these though before I end up putting new carbs on them, because I can see that there's fuel filters on here, and I'd like to replace the fuel filters before I go any further. So as you can see, there's one filter right there, so we're going to be replacing that. That'll also give me an opportunity to see what the fuel looks like in there, and before I add new fresh fuel to it. Let's see if this one has a filter as well. It should. Nope, somebody's removed the filter on this one. Okay, so this one needs a filter. So I'm gonna go in my goodie box there, and we're gonna pull out two filters. So this one goes to this guy, this one goes to that guy right there. So we got two new filters. We'll be slapping those on, and yeah, so I'm gonna wait till the other carb arrives, and then we'll get started again here. Okay, welcome back. Sorry I had to make a trip over to Largo, Florida to pick up a motorcycle jack, because for some of my bigger projects I would like to have a jack. A lot of these little scooters have a little motorcycle stand, just makes it really nice and easy to work on them. However, I needed something I can bring up to my own height with some of these 1,200 pound bikes, 800 pound bikes, stuff like that. So let's cut those open. This should be the other carburetor that I ordered. Don't forget, guys, I don't make these videos for me, I make them for you. It helps if you subscribe, show me some support. I try to show you guys how to work on your scooters easily, because these little Chinese scooters suck. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows these little Chinese scooters are garbage. So we're gonna yoke both of these carbs out of here today, and we're gonna be putting brand new carbs. And this one actually looks like I get to keep my filters, because these came with brand new filters. So that's a plus, right? This one over here probably came with a new filter too. Well, let's see. Did you come with a filter? Oh, look at that, a new filter, hey. So it looks like I get to keep my filters. Very nice. I paid for them, I want to keep them. They're mine. All right, so cool. That was easy. Let's get started here. Let me aim this down a little bit. So we got a size 12 here that we're going to be taking off. We got to loosen the throttle cable first. So let's get the throttle cable loose. All of these are always size 12. I just know it by heart. I don't know why. Probably because I've worked on so many of these. There we go. Get that nice and loose. Pull the rubber guard forward. Spin that off by hand. Pull back. So we're going to take all the tension with our finger. We're going to push the spring all the way out. And, oh gosh, we got a fighter on our hands. I might have to open this up with a screwdriver. These normally just come out real easily, but it looks like this one is being squeezed pretty hard. So I'm going to have to open that up with a flathead screwdriver a little bit to get that out of there, it looks like. Probably underneath and on this side right here. Let's see if we can just give this a twist. Open it up a little bit so we can get this out of here. That should do it. There it is. Cool. Doesn't matter because we're not reusing this carb anymore. So let's grab our Phillips head. We're gonna undo this here. Get this loose, the intake boot. That's loose enough. Now we'll take off the air filter tube shroud. And let's see if we can remove it by hand, or if it's really stiff like a lot of these are. No, this one's nice and loose. There you go. That worked out. Cool. All right, so throttle's been unhooked. Right here on the last part, that's unhooked. And I gotta get the enricher, which is clearly over here in this case. Probably gonna have to cut this open a little bit. Yep. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it was tucked way down in there. All right, so the enricher is now off of there, and we should have one more line that needs to be disconnected, which is normally right on there. It is, look, oh my goodness. All right, so let's find my 8mm, take that off. And pop this right on down there. Loosen that. Pull this off of there, and there you go. Now all we gotta do is disconnect the main fuel line after we pull it out of the boot. There she is. All right, now, if your petcock is working right, I should be able to just disconnect this, and that's the end of it. Shouldn't leak. If it leaks, then I know there's a problem with the petcock fuel system. Wow, this one's really putting up a fight. You know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You know why? Because we're just gonna cut it off there. So, there we go. And cutsy cuts. I'm not messing around. All right, carburetor out. Did I call that or what? Original carb, non-tamper carburetor. So this is the original carb. Smells lovely. Smells like. We're just gonna chuck you right there because you are junk. And let's pull out our new carb here. So this is gross. Whatever's inside of here is really gross. But we're gonna go ahead and pop this off of here. I'm using a screwdriver because it's really stuck on there. Yeah, I don't know what's coming out of this. This almost smells like water. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, well, there's not a ton of fuel line left. Ew, dude, this looks like white chocolate. That's just disgusting. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just replace this filter here real quick. So, should we do it that way? Should we do it that way? Or should we extend it? Let's see how much room we've got here. If I put that there, let's see here. If I put that there, is that gonna reach it? It should. Matter of fact, I think it should. All right, so we're probably just gonna delete this crap. I have no idea what that is. That's gross. Anyways, thinking that we should probably drain this fuel tank before I go any further. So I'm gonna go ahead and just set this aside for now before we install it, because I think we really need to drain whatever's in this tank. So we're just gonna disconnect the main fuel line off the petcock pump right here, guys, if you can see that. And we're gonna drain out whatever crap is in this bike, because it doesn't smell like fuel and it doesn't look like varnish. So I have no idea what is in this tank, but it's not fuel. So let's drain it and see what's inside. Okay, so if you look at the flow tube, it says flow goes this way. So we're gonna take that original line that we took off there, we're gonna pop that on here. But before we do that, we're gonna put one of the old clamps back on there. If I can squeeze this with my vice grip hands enough to get it on. There we go. I'll pop that back on there. And that should have enough distance now. We're just gonna reuse the old line. And now, we'll come off this one here. Let's move this clamp back. There we go. Push that on there now. Come on, you can do it. There we go. I'm gonna squeeze that clamp, put that on there. Okay, now should have enough room. So we got the new filter on there, and you can see the old fuel line goes right on there, just like that. So there we go. So now we're all installed there. So let's go ahead and reconnect this. If I can find the clip on the bottom. Why, this is the most annoying little rubber shroud ever. There it is. Come down here. What side's that clip go on? It's going, there it is. That goes on the top, like so. There. Now we're done, we'll zip tie all that back up to the frame. But for now, just get everything just reinstalled, good to go. So now we're just gonna connect the new throttle cable, which routes underneath the fuel line. So you guys remember, put the little bead through first. If you can find the hole. There it is. Pull back, slide it into place, like so. Bring this forward just a tad. Bring this one forward just a tad as well. Alright, now pull that out of the way and make sure that this is bottomed out. You want to make sure this is bottomed out on that screw right there. You can hear it click solid. There's not a whole ton of play in it, but just a little bit. Good to go. So now you can slide that rubber piece back up and on there. Tighten these down, and this carb is installed. Technically at this point we can try to start it up if we want to. So we'll do that. Let's get this front one tight first. There we go. Okay, so should be good there. And now we'll do this. Tighten that one down. Okay, see if she starts here. It's gonna take a minute to get some fuel down to that line. There you go, look at all that gunk. Holy crap. You know what? We're just gonna stop right there. Yeah, we're gonna drain this fuel. That is brown, gross stuff. I have no idea what's going on in there, but we are not gonna get all that bullshit in the carb. I can tell you that right now, so. Oh yeah, that is gross, whatever that is coming out of there. I'm gonna let you guys have a look. Look at that. That is disgusting. We're gonna go ahead and just get all that bull crap out of there. So, we're just gonna let that sit and drain there for a while, unfortunately. Carb's all installed, but yeah, that was pretty gross, whatever was in here. So we're also gonna take this fuel filter back off of here again. Let that drain, cause wow, that was pretty gross stuff there. All right, let's see where we're at here. Oh my, the bottom of that tank is very, very rusty. Very rusty. Holy crap. God damn, there's some big flakes in there too. Well, he might be in for a gas tank. Not an ideal situation. This is why you don't leave gas sitting in scooters forever. That's why you don't leave gas sitting in these things for a very long time. Okay, come on, stop spinning. Thank you. Well, damn. So to give you guys an idea of what's happening and why this is going to cost them a little bit more is because I'm literally in here with my magnet fishing out all the rust particles. I continue adding water to displace it and WD-40 with penetrating oil and unclogging the hole and getting 90% of it out. And as you can see, I've gotten the majority of the rust out of here. This is very time consuming. It's a big pain in the ass to do, but it will save you from having to completely remove the tank and all the plastics and all that fun jazz. So we're just trying to get the 90% of the big particles and chunks out of here because the rest of it can go through the fuel system and it's pretty cheap and easy to replace. But if you notice those chunks, that's what we're trying to get out of there. Most of it is coming off now. So I continue adding water. As you can see, that down there is lots of rust particles, and this line right here is the water, so rust and water particles. So you can see them breaking down and transferring. There's also fuel in there on some of them. So a little bit of fuel in there now, so it's starting to split. But I think we're pretty much almost out of particles here. I should be able to, yep. This tank looks a lot better, so we'll let it drain to the bottom, then we'll see where we're at. However, it looks 1,000 times better than it did, so probably not gonna have to remove this tank. Just a big pain in the ass that I had to do that, and it was very time consuming. So anyways, there's that. Now I have no doubt in my mind that this is still gonna get clogged a number of times, so somebody's gonna wanna keep an extra fuel filter on them. Luckily, you don't have to access the whole seat and everything. You can just come down here, unplug it by hand, and do all that good stuff. The point I'm trying to make here is that this is probably gonna get clogged quite a bit, a few times. So he'll be going through filters until he gets that all straightened out. But let's see if we can get some real fuel in this thing now. There we go, I see good fuel going in. Let's see if we can get this sucker to fire. There she is. Well, like I said, he'll be changing that fuel filter every once in a while. Now, I get my screwdriver ready so when it idles down I can set the idle. Not enough fuel. So she's either not getting enough air or she's not getting enough fuel. And we're gonna test that real quick because I'm gonna pop off the air filter and see if it breathes better. If it does not, then we're gonna give it more fuel. So, pop this off here. It's idling, it's maintaining idle just fine. So let's pop off this. If we can. There. This one's gonna be a little butthole. It's gonna be a butthole. This is idling way too high. Let's turn the idle down. Until the back tire stops spinning. Back tire stops spinning. Okay. So it's idling good, but we're either getting not enough air or not enough fuel, one or the other. So, pop this off and see how it's breathing. There we go. Now that's off, I'll be able to tell which one. Bogging. So, not enough fuel. Okay. This is still supplying fuel, so that's good. But not getting enough. So we're gonna remove the top of this cap. We're gonna leave everything installed. We're gonna remove the top of this cap here. I'm gonna show you how to solve that real quick. Let's go ahead and pull this. Just be careful, this is spring loaded. Pull it out carefully. Oh, apparently I didn't get that one all the way out. Just keep your thumb on it because like I said, it is spring loaded. Oh, really? Jeez. Magnetic head on my screwdriver, took the screw with it. So pop that out. Set that right there. And pull the spring out. Set that right there. Now we're gonna pull this out. Come on, there we go. All right, now we gotta get down in there, pull that out. Hey guys, there's a screw inside here. We're going to be lifting this needle so that we get more fuel. You're gonna need needle nose and a Phillips head that fits this perfectly. You're just gonna back that screw out. Really, Dan? Really? Oh, moving too fast here. All right, back the screw out. So, for those of you guys who don't know, often what happens is, drop that, we're gonna pull this C-clamp out, and we're gonna raise this up. So what we're gonna end up doing is taking this little tiny C-clamp off of here, we're gonna pull it off with the needle nose, and then we're gonna move it down to the last space available. Because right now we're getting too much air and not enough fuel. Even when the air intake is on there, it's still having a hard time getting more fuel to mix with the air. So what we're going to do is move this to the last notch available on here, which will allow a lot more fuel in. And we're going to push that on there like so. Down onto there. If you guys can see this, I'm going to take this screwdriver now. Just give a push. Remember, be careful, you're not trying to bend the needle either. There it is, clipped on there. So now what we're going to do is put this piece back on the center of this. Okay. See here, bam. Should we do it that way? Yeah, alright. So we'll drop it down in there. Then we'll use this to kind of re-coordinate our screw like so. And we'll drop this down in there at an angle so that lines up, and then we'll just simply take our Phillips head and we'll slowly position it in there like that. Remember not to cross thread it, take it easy. Okay, once that's all the way back in, we're going to be getting a lot more fuel now, and hopefully we don't have to change the main jet over to a larger one to keep it running, but we'll find out. So let's drop this back down in there. Just remember that little puzzle piece right there has its own little slot, which you guys can probably see right there. So you're just going to drop that in carefully, make sure it's all clean, nothing's weird. Drop it in slow, get that in the hole. Make sure you get the needle in the hole properly before you try to continue. You don't want to force or push anything. If it doesn't slide in easily, then you're doing something wrong. So sometimes it takes a minute to fumble with this because you got to get the needle in the hole. There it is, lined up perfectly. Drop your spring back in there. Get your 2 screws. There should be a little, yep, there's a little plastic piece that fits on there like so. And then you just line these back up. Put your screws back in. And now it's getting a lot more fuel. So it shouldn't just idle now, it should actually take throttle. Hopefully I don't have to change the main jet out. But as I was saying, a lot of the Chinese carbs actually come really lean. So an easy way to bypass that is to do that. Alright, let's see what she does now. Idling good. Give her a chance to take on some fuel here. Still choking herself out pretty bad. That's interesting. So, checked with the owner to make sure he wanted me to do a valve job because I charge $40 to do a valve job. And wow. Those are really on there. I want to make sure that they say yes before I just start helping myself to do work. you know, you gotta get paid for your time, so there's that. Hey, Sam. So we gotta strip all this off and that whole side over there, so we're gonna let this cool off for a sec. I can loosen these bolts right now, so that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. Alright, now valve cover should just come right on off of there like so. There's those beautiful new valves. Anyways, a lot of times what happens is people don't do the valve adjustment when they're supposed to, and they come over tightened from the factory, and you end up creating a problem for yourself. So there's the valves. Valve train looks pretty good, however they are making a lot of noise. So we're gonna take this and this, and we're gonna go to this side of the scooter. We're also gonna grab these, because once I get this done, I'm gonna have to turn this. So let's go ahead and swing this scooter a little wide, like so. Let's do the valves, because I'm pretty sure this one needs it. So we gotta take all this cover so I can see the timing mark lineups. You can do it through that hole, but it's more of a pain in the ass. It's easier just to take this off. So crack them loose. There's that one, and there's normally one down here, and then a couple screws. There we go. And there's that one. Should be the same length. And now we'll stick this on up there. Back those screws out, like so. There's those. This cover should now come off of there. Looks like I'm gonna have to loosen the other one, which appears to be a 10. What is it with these people and changing the numbers constantly here? It's getting very frustrating. Luckily I don't have to go too far because I left it available just in case I'd need it. Just in case I'd need it. I'll tilt this up a little bit so you guys can see better. Put that on there. We're just gonna loosen this one. We're not gonna take it all the way off. There we go. Just enough to be able to get this off of there. And now we've got timing marks on here. That's turning over the engine compression. And this is your timing mark. You can see F and T on there. So, should be right there. All right, we got it lined up with the T mark. So now this should move. These actually feel maybe like they're too loose. Interesting. All right. Let's go grab my feeler gauges and see where we're at here. Let's see if they're within taller spec. I'll grab my tools. 0.004 for the top, 0.005 for the bottom. Intake is 0.004. And 0.005 for the exhaust. So we'll start with 0.004 and see if that slides in there too easily. Oh wow, okay. These are pretty darn loose. Not much grabbing onto those. Let's see what's going on with the one on the bottom here. Slide this in there and see how that one's doing. You know, they're not really that far out of spec, to be honest with you. They have just the right amount of pull on both. I'd like it if they were slightly tighter, but they both have drag, and that's what you want. You want them to have drag, so they're not too loose, they're not too tight. they're within spec tolerance. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually put this back together. So it would appear we have a problem elsewhere. It's not valves. I'm not going to charge them for that because I didn't do anything. I'll slap that all back together. And we'll take a look at what's going on with the rest of the scooter. So this is going to come back to fuel and air still. I'm really hoping this new carb I slapped on there is working properly. It's kind of frustrating. I hope I didn't get a crap carburetor here. So let's go ahead and put the whole assembly back together here. Slap that back on. So I apologize you guys didn't get to see the rest of the fix, but I did end up changing the filter to a better one. I got most of the crap that was in the carb out. I took the new carb out, emptied it. Sure enough, it was full of junk. Water was still in there, so apparently the stuff that had drained to the bottom of the tank made its way in there. I got most of the water cleared out now. It's running a lot better, but I went ahead and because I couldn't open the old carburetor up to steal the main jet off of it, I beat it to death with a hammer until I was able to smash the old carb apart and remove the jets out of it. So I took out the new jet that was in the carb and swapped it for the old jet. That way we know that it's the correct jetting for the scooter from the factory. And so the rest of it's a new carb, and sure enough, man, that worked pretty darn well doing it that way. So let's so I just got it running. I haven't really had a chance to tune it too much more, but everything's good now. It's running. It's taking a little bit of fuel to get it going, but like I said, this thing has been sitting a long time. That tank was really dirty. I'm still trying to get some of the water out of it from cleaning it and getting all the debris out, but as you can see, it's not coming out brown anymore. The fuel is coming out clear, so should be good there. That was the filter that I just put on, the brand new one that I just took off, and as you can see, that thing's pretty trashed. Pretty trashed. A lot of that had actually made it up into the new carb, so even after the cleaning, it was still pretty bad. So anyways, foot on the scooter here. Taking full throttle now. Scooter should be good. A little bit of tuning to go. Should be good. The exhaust smells normal. It's got oil in it. Idling. I think this scooter's good to go, so we'll work on this one here tomorrow. So anyways, this one took a lot more effort, time, and energy than I wanted to put into it to get it running, so I really hope the gas in that one is in much better condition than the gas that was in this one, because I really don't want to have to clean that tank again. I really hope that seal is in good condition so water didn't get inside that tank, because that was a lot of work, and I don't want to have to do that again. So this one's ready to be put back together. It's running. I should be able to throw the seat on it and take it for a little rip around the block, so that's what I'm going to do. I didn't put that much fuel in it, but I just aired up the tires, and we're going to take it around the block real fast. Oh yeah. I have no brakes, and I got to steer with my other hand, but as you can see, quite possible. Let's get her on a straightaway here. Like I said, I have no brakes, so.
It scoots along pretty good, 25, 30 miles an hour. Wow, it actually got me up that big steep incline, no kidding. She rips, man.
Are you sure this is okay?
You're in country, dude. Live a little. Now she's pretty sensitive, so go easy on the throttle, okay?
All right.